Bong Joon-ho's Parasite is a darkly funny movie that critics, audiences, and the director himself have spent ample time attempting to explain and unravel. Despite only coming out less than 10 years ago, Parasite has already made a name for itself not just as one of Bong Joon-ho's best movies, but one of the best movies of the 21st century. It was included as number 90 in the 2022 Sight and Sound poll of the greatest movies of all time, and it went 4 for 6 at the 92nd Academy Awards, winning Best Picture and Best Director. Almost a full-on comedy at some points, Parasite effortlessly blends humor and horror for a movie that feels incredibly real and honest. It's an accurate reflection of life, particularly a certain kind of life, with all its pain, fear, and occasional bursts of happiness. The film centers on two families, the wealthy Parks and the desperately poor Kim family. Seeing a chance to rise above his station in life, Kim Ki-woo, Choi Woo-shik, the family's son, inserts himself and his family into the Parks' life. Together, the Parks and Kims discover the edges of inequality and find something devastating there. Parasite is filled with ideas about class, wealth, and social inequality. The Kim and Park families are both harmed by inequality. Parasite is packed with images, lines, ideas, and themes about the sorts of inequalities people face, even in developed countries like South Korea. Class struggle is at the center of a movie like Parasite, and Bong is wise enough to craft a film that considers all sides. The Parks are insulated and naive, while for the Kims, even things that seem like minor conveniences can spell doom. When it rains toward the end of the film, the Kims' home is destroyed. The next day, Park mother Choi Young-gyo, Cho Yo-jong, comments on how beautiful it is the day after rain. At the same time, the Parks don't really do much that could be considered villainous. They are not mustache-twirling rich socialites who make the Kims' lives a living hell. If anything, they improve their lives. It's the Kims who keep taking and taking from the family. There is a complex point made by Bong in Parasite, and it's not that the poor are good, and the rich are bad. The point is that this type of inequality is ultimately harmful to everyone involved. The rich, like the Parks, lose sight of themselves. They forget how to cook and drive and misinterpret danger right at their door. The Kim family is more immediately harmed by the situation and more relatable for it. Everything is a struggle. Even going home is a struggle, climbing down steps to get to their homes, going deeper and deeper until they are nearly underwater. It's a life-and-death fight for the Kims and, without recourse, they bring this struggle to the Parks, who once thought themselves insulated. By the end of Parasite, the violence that class inequality foments is out in broad daylight for everyone to see, and no one is protected. What Bong Joon-ho has said about the end of Parasite. Bong sees Parasite as a work of cinema and not propaganda. A massive rainstorm in the streets with two people walking in Parasite. There are several motifs in Parasite that help drive Bong Joon-ho's thesis, and the director has pointed to stairs as one of these recurring themes, calling Parasite his stairway movie, via Vulture. Parasite is indeed filled with stairways, from the never-ending steps that lead from the Parks down to the Kims, to the stairs hidden behind a closet that leads down to Oh Gun Sae, Park Myung-hoon. Where someone lives, atop the stairs, or at the bottom, determines their social standing in Bong's movie. When it comes to the ending of Parasite, a dream sequence where Kim Ki-woo imagines himself working hard, getting rich, and eventually buying the Parks' house to save his father, Kim Ki-taek, Song Kang-ho, Bong says he thought ending on a cruel but honest reality made the most sense for the film. Bong understands the wish fulfillment both the audience and people in poverty may imagine, but he also knows how unreachable those dreams can be for some people. Though he ends Parasite on a door note, it's the right note, and it doesn't betray the story that came before. If he had ended the film with Kim Ki-woo solving all his problems and escaping poverty, it would have rendered the rest of the film inconsequential. What Bong didn't want to do was make some grand statement on how to change society. He sees himself as a filmmaker first and foremost, and while he sympathizes and supports the work done by those fighting for change, the first goal of Parasite was always to make the audience feel. Bong just shows the world the reality as he sees it. If that reality is alarming and unfair, then that's a statement on the world, not on Bong. Colonialism and imperialism are more key themes of Parasite. The Parks like to pretend to be Native Americans. Park Dae-sung, Jung Hyeon-jun, wearing a Native American headdress in Parasite. Such a powerful and effective movie as Parasite does not just play around one theme. There are multiple through lines in the film, including a notable critique of imperialism and colonialism, particularly within an American context. It is no coincidence that the Park son, Park Dae-sung, Jung Hyeon-jun, and Park father, Park Dong-ik, Lee Sung-kyun, Both enjoy dressing up as stereotypical Native Americans while they play. Parasite can be read as a metaphor for the invasion of the Americas by colonists and the displacement of the Native Americans.